Hey guys, it's Oblivion, and I know I was just as hyped as everyone else last year when Tetsuya Nomura revealed the beautiful 20th anniversary art for Kingdom Hearts. But what a lot of people noticed is how Naminé and Strelitzia mirrored each other on that artwork. I've always thought Naminé and Strelitzia were very similar myself, and this artwork got me thinking about just how similar these two characters are, and what it might mean for the future of the franchise, especially in Kingdom Hearts 4. So today I'm going to go over these similarities with you all to shed some light on these two and any possible connections. First similarity that I want to mention admittedly isn't all too important, so I just want to get it out of the way. Both Naminé and Strelitzia have art of them drawn by Tetsuya Nomura himself holding a Chirithy. Naminé was drawn holding a Chirithy for the Union Cross 2nd anniversary, while Strelitzia was drawn holding a Chirithy for the 5th anniversary. This is most likely just a coincidence, or to show how both characters are soft and friendly. But I do think it's interesting to have Naminé with Chirithy over Kairi or Sora, or even Roxas. At the very least, I just think both art pieces are really cute, and I wanted to bring this small detail up. Next are a bunch of easy recognizable similarities. First of all, both girls wear white dresses and have small flower accents on their outfits, and are also associated with flowers to some capacity themselves. Naminé has a small flower design on her shoes, while Strelitzia has a petal-shaped hem on her dress. The white room that Naminé resides in also has a small vase of flowers on a table, and it could even be argued that since Naminé is Kairi's nobody, and Kairi's heart is represented by a crystal flower a la Sailor Moon's silver crystal, and that she has flowers on her keyblade, that this motif can be extended to Naminé as well. And of course, Strelitzia being Marluxia's younger sister, and Marluxia having his own flower motif going on, it's not a surprise she also has this association, especially when the name Strelitzia is the name of the bird of paradise flower, and there's many scenes of her in a flower field in Union Cross. Speaking of Marluxia, another huge parallel between these two are their connections to Marluxia himself. As I just mentioned, Strelitzia is Lauriam's younger sister, the somebody, so to speak, of Marluxia, and Strelitzia even appears in his boss fight in Chain of Memories. While in the same game, Naminé is held captive by Organization 13 inside Castle Oblivion, and Marluxia is the one that keeps a close eye on her, and is one of the characters that makes her mess with Sora's memories for their own gain. There's even the fact that in Kingdom Hearts 3, Marluxia shows up in the Tangled world, where Rapunzel, a young blonde girl with magic abilities and an association with flowers, deals with being held captive and lonely for a majority of her life, and wanting to make her own adventures and memories outside of their captivity, makes her own friends and grows stronger throughout her journey. For Naminé, this is shown with her wanting to be friends with the Destiny Trio, especially with Sora in Chain of Memories, and then later on with Roxas and Days in Kingdom Hearts 2. Strelitzia, in her introduction in Union Cross, is shown to be wanting to be friends with the player, secretly admiring them from afar, as she is a more introverted and shy character, just like Naminé. Also a neat tidbit is that Rapunzel's hair is blonde, like Naminé's, and her eyes are green, like Strelitzia's. Many fans even speculate that Marluxia was one of the characters that closely interacted with Naminé in Chain of Memories, due to a subconscious feeling of familiarity to Strelitzia inside of Naminé from Marluxia's past life as Lauriam. The similarities go even further, with the two characters sharing a unique circumstance happening to them. Both characters have died in a sense. While Naminé hasn't really died, she did cease to exist for a bit of the story. Due to being Kairi's nobody and not having her own heart, she needed to reunite and become one with Kairi again, and we see this happen in Kingdom Hearts 2. We then see a revived Naminé at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, where she had joined with the rest of the main characters on Destiny Islands. Unfortunately for Strelitzia, her way of going wasn't as peaceful or chosen by her own hands. She's struck and killed by darkness that took possession of Ventus so he could take her place as a dandelion leader. Her last moments are her wishing to become close to the player, similar to how Naminé's last scene in Chain of Memories before she's forgotten by Sora before his year-long sleep. Strelitzia is also forgotten by Lauriam after he becomes Marluxia, as well as being forgotten by Ventus and Lorena as she becomes Larxene. But luckily for Strelitzia, she isn't gone for good. We see her after the events of Kingdom Hearts 3, where Sora himself wakes up in Quadratum after misusing the power of waking to save Kairi from her own untimely demise. In an apartment, she explains to Sora that Quadratum is an afterlife world of sorts, most likely where hearts who are not ready to move on go before going into heaven, or Kingdom Hearts, or whatever you want to call it. This can also be a factor in the angelic symbolism that both girls have, where Strelitzia in a way is an angel, as she's in an afterlife when being not entirely alive, and in Reaching of Memories, Naminé has a plushie in a bird cage, showing her feelings of being trapped, her loneliness, and not having control. This can go even deeper when you remember how Marluxia essentially crucifies Naminé in the Chain of Memories manga, showing an even more heavenly attribute to her by having her in the same position as, Jesus. Hey, do you remember what the name of the Strelitzia flower is called again? The Bird of Paradise. This is where my own theory comes into play. Based on what we've seen with Naminé in the series thus far, I think Strelitzia will take over that role, which Naminé either takes a bit of a backseat or becomes more involved in behind-the-scenes action. In Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 2, Days, and even in Recoded as Data Naminé, she's always been a character used for exposition for Sora and the others, and for the audience. But now, she's on Disney Islands with the rest of our main crew, which can be called a paradise, as it's a beach, kind of like a vacation resort. A bird in paradise. Strelitzia doesn't have this luxury, as she's stuck paying rent in Quadratum. Since Sora is in unfamiliar territory our regular faces have never trekked before, it's up to Strelitzia to entertain Sora and help him learn of his surroundings, his circumstances, and what options he has to move forward to get back to his friends. Plus, Strelitzia has 3 links back to Sora's homeworld: Marluxia, Larxene, and Ventus. And if Subject X ends up being Scold like heavily theorized, then there's a 4th link. My hopeful wish for Naminé's role in future installments is that she'll be able to use her memory abilities to not only help Kairi recover her lost memories from her past, such as what we've been seeing at the end of Melody of Memory, but also help Ventus recover his memories from his days in Daybreak Town during the events of Union Cross. This will then link together Ventus's memories of Strelitzia, as they have a very unique relationship with a very unfortunate set of events, and could possibly help the gang pinpoint where Strelitzia and Sora are located across all the worlds. Or, which I think might be more interesting personally, is Strelitzia helping Sora come to terms with his mortality, and making it easier to accept his fate and that he needs to move on. Oh yeah, who else do we know has personal and unique connections to a blonde boy who is connected to Sora, and who also was at some point never fully whole? Only half a person. Naminé, with Roxas. What's also interesting is the possibility of Strelitzia being an antagonist of sorts. Naminé back in Chain of Memories played a similar role when she was used by the members who betrayed the organization, making her to be the one to cause all the harm done to Sora throughout the events of the game. This caused a lot of tension when it's finally revealed that all the horrible things she had done, albeit against her will, were done with the intention to break Sora, while her actions later in the game have her redeem herself to fix the mess she created. Our last scene of Strelitzia in Union Cross was her being led away by somebody in a black cloak, while wearing a white cloak herself. Could this foreshadow her being used by a traitor of the Master of Masters, or even the Foretellers? Or maybe to show that Strelitzia will be a light within the darkness, such as how Naminé, a nobody, beings created from those who lost their hearts to darkness, is pure light and is unique from all other nobodies, since she's the nobody of Kairi, a princess apart, who has no darkness in her heart at all. Strelitzia's white cloak does also appear in Chain of Memories during Marluxia's boss fight. Could her line about being able to one day be strong enough to carry her older brother on his back be the one light in the darkness, showing how she never fully left Lorium behind even after her demise? Or is there more to come we have yet to see? Has Strelitzia caused any harm in Quadratum? Is Sora going to be a potential victim, or possibly the only victim? Or is there anything Strelitzia regrets and feels that she has to make right before her spirit passes on? Similar to how Naminé couldn't reunite with Kairi until after she finished her job in Kingdom Hearts 2. One last similarity that I want to bring up is both Naminé and Strelitzia were very interested in the truth. As I mentioned with Naminé helping Roxas in Kingdom Hearts 2, she was the only character to tell him the truth about his existence, and wanted to help him no matter how much the truth hurt, because she knew how much it hurt herself, and how much it would mean to him to have that truth. Right before Strelitzia met her demise, she was on her way to tell the player that the world would be coming to an end soon, worried about what might happen to them since they were not a dandelion. Until that point, Strelitzia had no real agency and just followed along to complete her missions. Taking this action to protect the player, someone who she really cares about, shows her selfless and caring nature. This is similar to Naminé when we first see her in Chain of Memories, as she had no memories or emotions of her own after her creation, so she followed the orders of those around her without question until Sora comes to rescue her, where she then stands in front of Marluxia to protect Sora from physical harm that he may do to him. Of course, we know in both instances that both girls end up getting harmed themselves, but A for effort, right? Anywho, while some of the things that I brought up aren't the most concrete of evidence in the world, I don't think it's far-fetched to say that these two mirror each other at all. As we fans have learned over the years, there is no such thing as a coincidence in Kingdom Hearts, and that everything is connected. Only time will tell what will happen with these two in the future of the franchise, but I'm very inclined to believe that Nomura has been dropping hints for us for some time now, and that anniversary art was just the cherry on top. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed!